What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram. That's t.me/KingofFomo1, as was my chat, which is going to be linked in the description below. Also has kingoffomo.com and my podcast, which will also be in the link if you guys want to listen to this on the go. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm happy to talk about something else in the blockchain world. It's not just Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is the Clear United's Clearphone. And I'm going to go ahead and cut straight to the chase in this video. I'm going to tell you the positives and the negatives of this thing. I don't really want to make a 40-minute video talking all about how great the company is, because there's plenty of other people that do that, and I'll link you to those videos if you want some specific information about all this stuff. But I know that you guys, I value you guys' time, so I'm going to cut straight to the brass tacks with this thing. So like I said, the Clearphone is a blockchain phone, and its whole motto is to subscribe to your digital freedom. So to kind of simplify this and help you guys understand what this is and why is it that you need a new phone, why would you go for this phone that you've never heard of instead of going for something like a Google Pixel or an iPhone, well, let me get into it. I do think that the world is definitely changing as we're starting to see crypto hitting new all-time highs, as the US dollar is kind of depleting, and people are looking at the internet and Amazon and Tesla and all these other companies in a completely different way as the internet evolves into this kind of level 3 of what it started out as. Now, what the Clearphone does as a blockchain phone, let me just give you an analogy right now. I know a lot of you guys have at one time or another thought about a product. Like, let's just say, for example, you thought about some Nike shoes. You're like, man, I really want these new Nike shoes. And then 2 days later, you look on Facebook or just on a random website that you're browsing, and you see ads all over the place for this Nike shoe that you were thinking about. And you think it was magic or some sort of coincidence, or maybe a calling that these Nike shoes keep appearing in your feed for you to purchase. And then maybe you click on the ad and you buy the Nike shoes from there. I know that has happened to many people, and you're a little confused as to how you got those ads in the first place. Well, what happens is you think about the Nike shoes if you type in Nike shoes in Google, or if you say it in your Google Home, or if you click on a Nike shoe ad somewhere, or you search for it on Amazon. Then what happens is the advertisement servers actually record your information. They record your name, they record your ID, they record your IP address, and then they just plaster that ad everywhere, every single website that you go to, because you said, or you clicked on, showed some interest for the words Nike shoes. So that is a dangerous thing, and that's something that once you start to realize that that's happening, you don't want it to happen. You don't want to be force-fed stuff that you think about and kind of be manipulated into buying stuff. Now, a lot of what these other marketers are talking about is, digital gold is now your data instead of oil or gas being the big money making factor. Your data is actually the most valuable thing on the planet right now, and the reason why is because companies like Google, like Facebook, like Instagram are hoarding your data. They're harvesting your data, who you are, what you're interested in, and they're selling it to these ad companies for copious amounts of money that you would not believe. I mean, try to go into marketing yourself. I've dipped my toes in Shopify a little bit, and it's really easy to find somebody who's slightly interested in Nike shoes and sell them something slightly different. So as we kind of evolve in this world, as technology evolves a little bit more, that's going to become more egregious, and you're going to be targeted significantly easier as a product rather than as a person to just manipulate you into buying products. Now, I know that sounds very kind of extremist. 5-10 years ago, I would have said the same thing. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the world's not that advanced yet, but you know what? We're pretty much getting there if you really pay attention. This is one of the reasons why I've downloaded web browsers like DuckDuckGo, which is the opposite of Google. It doesn't really share your data. And what the Clearphone does is it goes a step beyond, and it really protects your data from being sold and you from being manipulated into many different products. We can get into other things like hacks as well, but let's talk a little bit more about the phone. and what it does. So like I said, it does protect you completely from putting your information out there so you can get served all these ads and shoved stuff in your face, which is, it's like I said, it's going to be a big deal. Once you notice it, it's a much bigger deal than you think. This phone can do some other things too. It is a competitive phone. So if we just take a look, let's take a look at one of the models here. We'll look at the Clearphone 620 model. This is the most expensive model, and it's got a lot of cool features. It's got the Clear ID fingerprint system, so a fingerprint scanner. It's got the face scanner, so you just like with other you guys that have higher end phones, you can log on to stuff by just scanning your face or using your fingerprint. It's got a really good camera. It's got a lot of other stuff, which we can see if I go a little bit further in this. Let's go to learn more here. It's got a lot of other stuff, a huge battery life. You could look at the processors if you guys are interested in that stuff. Wireless charging, huge amounts of memory, all kinds of things like that. Now you guys can look in particular which type of phone meets your needs. Those of you who need a more robust phone can go for the higher series, and those of you who just want a phone that works can go for the lower $50 a month series if you want to. But there's just a lot to choose from, and they are competitive. They're not just bricks with security on them. They do the same thing as your Android phones. So you can download Google Play apps on these things just like anything else, and they work just like your normal phone, just with additional security added on to them. So there's that. They also, for people who are family people, they will protect your kids very, very easily. So they have this thing right here called Clear GM. And what Clear GM does, let me see if this actually opens up, is it's basically stops websites from being accessible. So it will automatically block adult content if you don't want to see that on your phone, or if you don't want your kids to see that. It'll filter YouTube videos. It'll block high-risk domains, things like phishing websites. Even for like older people, I know that older people are very vulnerable to clicking on links like to open up your bank information, and you log on and it's not actually your bank. It's just somebody stealing your information to get money from your bank, or anything like that where they're stealing your password. Older people that don't really use the internet that much, or even sometimes younger people that are not as tech savvy, can fall for that stuff really easily. So what ClearGM does is, if you set the filters, it will block all of that stuff for you. So you don't really have to worry about that for yourself or for some of the people in your family that are not as tech savvy as you, if you're buying that for them. So this Clear GM is a pretty good feature, especially for people who are getting phones for other people. So it does that, and it does a lot of other stuff too, as well. Now, the final thing that I'll kind of note for this phone before we dig a little bit deeper into it is it protects your data also with your fingerprint and your face scanner. So a lot of you guys have some newer phone models where you log in from scanning your face, and you log into all of your websites, your banking applications, from scanning your face or scanning your fingerprint. So the thing about that is that data is stored with Apple or Google. Your face and your fingerprint is attached to your password with Apple or Google. In Clear United's Clearphone, it's not going to be attached to Clear United. It's not going to be attached to Google, to Apple. It's going to be attached to you. So a lot of us in crypto, we already know about 12-word IDs. So you'll have a 12-word phrase just in case your phone breaks or burns up in a fire. You can get a new phone, use the same 12-word phrase, and it will save all of your data that you had before from your fingerprint and your face scan. So there is that available for you, so you won't lose your passwords. Just like with if you have a ledger or anything like that, you won't lose any of that information. And if the company gets hacked or anything like that, they won't have access to the information because it's encrypted, only accessible to you and the person, who hopefully yourself as well, who has your 12-word ID phrase. So that is another big game changer. And like I said, talking about hacks, other companies that own your data, that get your data in sort of nefarious ways and will shill stuff to you and just shove stuff in your face through email or whatever kind of way, it's not going to be possible with the Clearphone in their encryption method. So all of this stuff added together, if it resonates with you and you guys understand, I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't understand it, I mean, that's fine. I'm sure that eventually people will start to understand why data protection is important. It's not a big deal to everyone yet, but I think definitely as time goes by, people will start to understand more and more that the people who are protecting their information a little bit more are having a an easier time avoiding a lot of annoying stuff that is thrown at them. So that's the Clearphone. Now, taking a look at what does it offer. So there's 3 different plans for the Clearphone. There's the Clearphone 220, Clearphone 420, and Clearphone 620. Now, obviously, because of the nature of this channel, I do like to talk about things that make money for you, so you can make money with the Clearphone. I'm not just trying to sell you a cell phone. I'm not trying to sell you anything, really. I really want you guys to do your own research. This is just something that I think that is cool, that, I mean, I'm going ahead and purchasing this model right here. We'll get into that in a second, but of course, always do your own research, and we'll talk about some of the negatives towards the end as well. But like I said, there's 3 different plans that you can purchase from here. There's a $50 a month plan, $100 a month plan, $150 a month plan. And the simple aspect of it in terms of making money is if you start building a team, for those of you who are network marketers or just sharing this with family members and friends, if you get 4 people on your team, you don't have to pay for your plan anymore, the $50 a month or whatever price it is, because those commissions will be added to your plan. And if you get more people on top of that, they actually give you money for growing their user base. So as simple as that. So that's how you can make money from this thing if you do want to go ahead and become an influencer with this. But nonetheless, if you're just looking for the phone, we can take a look at what these plans do. So just looking at the lowest end plan, the first and last is due at signing. There's a 24-month subscription, which is cancelable at any time. So that means you're going to be paying $100 up front for the Clearphone 220. And it's also, the cancellation fee is just 2 months payment. So that's another $100 for canceling, and then you can be done with this thing altogether. So I think it might be 4 payments of this that's due in the beginning, just in case you decide to cancel or you don't pay your bill the next month. It'll automatically cancel out for you. But that's how much it costs for the subscription. It's 24 months, and they all give you different things. Obviously, you can see the phones look slightly different because they are a little higher end, bigger cameras, clearer pictures, bigger battery life, larger screen, that type of thing for the higher end models and the higher prices. But you do get some additional things with it. So let's just look at the smallest model first. You can use the Clear network with the Clear cellular network. You can just plug in your SIM card for AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon and have it work that way. You will not get that many features by doing that, but it is possible for you guys to do that. You can add some extra features like the Clear Medical, where you can connect with a doctor if you have any questions about anything, and there's some other things that go along with that. I'm not going to cover too much of that stuff in this video. There's plenty of other videos that cover things like that. And then, of course, if you don't want to attach AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, you can use the Clear Cell service, and that's going to be voice, text, and data that's packaged in with this $50 a month for this phone right here. And it gives you all the other stuff that you guys can have in here, and you guys can read through all this stuff on your own if you are interested in any of that. And the same deal is true if you're looking at some of the higher end phones. This is the one that I'm actually going to get, the 420 model. 620's pretty beefy. I mean, if you have like a business, if you're running everything off of your phone, if you're wants the highest end stuff, this is a great selection. But for the average person, I would look at the 420 or the 220, to be honest, because I mean, those will really get the job done at the end. So whoops, I'm at the 620. I want to see, look at the 420. But they do offer a little bit different things, and by clicking on this learn more feature, you can see what more it does. Does it have the fingerprint? Does it have the what kind of camera does it have? What kind of memory does it have? And just by looking at learn more, you can understand the difference between these couple of phones. But that's where your price split is going to happen. And again, it's basically 4 months up front, and then you can cancel or stop using the phone anytime if you don't like it anymore. It's not going to be a giant hassle for you to just stop paying and not use it anymore if you don't want to do it. But I do think that this thing definitely has value. Now, what Clear United is, it is a newer company, so there's positives and negatives that go along with it. They've been around actually since 2009, which, I mean, that's older than most stuff in crypto. But they just started this Clearphone about a year ago. A lot of people started getting their phones back in, I think, in June or March or something like that. So they're newer, but their phone exists. So I know that there's been a lot of other blockchain phones that have been announced and never came out, even though people purchased them. I know, remember the Moon phone, things like that. But with Clearphone, it exists. You can hold it in your hands right now. You can order it and get it in your mailbox tomorrow if you want to do that. So there's that. And that those are positives. The fact that the company is public. You do have your leader here. Let's see if he's on the bottom of the page right here, Michael Proper, who's done some conferences and some Zoom videos already. You guys can look those up again on your own, and that's all good stuff. It's all great stuff. I like to look for startup things that are coming out. Obviously the negative is that it is new. It is a startup, so with all new things, problems can happen. And if the company does go under and Clear no longer exists, I'm sure that your phone will still be able to operate. You'll probably be able to connect to the Verizon network, things like that. But that is just something to think about. Your data will still be safe because it's encrypted. It's not like the company has your data. It's kind of like with Ledger, same thing that happened with that hack. Your data is safe, but it's a little bit of a risk that you're taking when you're doing some of these newer companies in terms of the longevity of when the company's going to be around. However, they do have a roadmap. They do have a plan as to when they're launching and all those things, and how by I think the end of February, they're going to be really pushing this out to the majority of the United States. Right now, they're in pre-sale. You guys know I love pre-sales. It's the best time to jump in on things if it works out. Sometimes pre-sales, they don't work out. Just is the way the cookie crumbles. But that is Clear United. Now we can take a look at some other things like the back office. Let me see if I can show you guys the back office right here. Pretty sure I already have this logged in somewhere. I do not. So let me go ahead and go to the back office, and we'll show you guys the rewards and the dashboard, so you can get cards that go along with this. For those of you who are earning from here, you have your influencer circle. If you are referring people, it'll actually calculate how much you're going to be able to earn monthly on average, which firstly covers the cost of your own phone, and then additionally you can get paid out more from this. So let's just say you're referring 3 people, and those 3 people refer 3 people. You can get annually about $1,800 in commissions from that, about $150 in commissions monthly from those 3 people. And if you're referring more and more people, let's just say you get 40 people interested in this thing. Maybe you are a network marketer. You can start getting some pretty crazy amounts. Obviously, 40 people times 40 is a little too much. You're not going to find 40 people that are going to find 40 people, but if you get 40 people and those people all get maybe 2 or 3 people on average, you could be looking at somewhere around like $200 or $24,000, maybe $360,000, depending on which part of the circle you're in. So you can make a lot from this if you are pushing it out there, if you are a network marketer. Now, if you're not really trying to do that, the phone is still really, really good. But if you are, like I said, it can be lucrative. It's not the type of platform that's going to pay you out X% daily or any type of weird commission model like that. But for those of you who are going to be an influencer and trying to get the word spread out on this, you can earn from this. For those of you guys who are doing that, they have a lot of other information here too, documents, so you guys can understand the opportunity, the sales pitch, all the stuff like that is available in here as well. So that is everything. If, like I said, the final thing is, if you do want to become an influencer, you do have to sign up for it and fill out all this information and stuff. But that is everything for today, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to give you an intro into Clear United's Clearphone. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, not everybody has to do it. Not everybody has to buy it. It's not like I'm forcing you to do that. And there will be other things that come out in the future. That's cool too. But I love covering stuff like this that I think can potentially make a difference. And it's functional right now. It's not like we're talking about vaporware at the current moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Clear United does in the future. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they work out well for many people that are using the phones and growing their networks for the phones. But that is everything for today, guys. I have other stuff to cover. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this video. There's another video about Wise Token. Wise Token's being launched today. Look for that. And we'll talk about some other stuff as well. Make sure you're following the podcast. If you're not, that's an easy way to really listen to the things that are going on. The podcast link is going to be in the description below. Right now it's on Spotify. I'm going to try and be put on other platforms as well. And Telegram, all that stuff. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about other products. I know some people are messaging me, PMing me on Telegram. I'll get back to you soon. I've just been busy. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.